Welcome to the fourth episode of the AACF podcast known as Waken. I'm Doug.
I'm Yuan.
And we're your hosts. Throughout this quarter, we're going to be introducing you to different members of our community so that you get to know your fellow AACFers.
We don't all have the time to have individual conversations with everybody in our fellowship, but we hope that this gives you a glimpse into the lives of your fellow brothers and sisters and showcases the members that God has placed into our wonderfully diverse community.
For this week's guest, we will be welcoming one of our beloved seniors. You may know him as the Epic Gamer or as one of the men's freshman small group leaders. Please welcome Phillip Chang.
Hey, good to be here. It's really weird listening to this without the music because I listened to the first few episodes.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Yeah. It's a lot of...
Hey, man, you get to be here.
Yeah.
You get
Feels
to
good.
enjoy the podcast in its full rawness.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It's real raw.
Yeah, so how are you, Phil? How are you doing with the quarantine, with Zoom University and all that?
I think I'm doing all right. There's a lot of good and bad. I think people a lot of times ignore the good parts too. I think the worst thing is just like I'm losing the sense of time. I don't know when anything is due. I don't know when it's day or night, when it's the weekday or weekend. But other than that, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, save. Honestly, like, I woke up at like 11 today. I went to bed at like maybe 4 a.m. or something like that. Normally, that's not my normal schedule. I normally wake up at like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and go to bed like at 12 at latest. But this whole quarantine thing, man, is just screwing me over. So I know how you feel, man.
Oh yeah, that's not even that bad. Some people are like straight up nocturnal.
Yeah, but Phil, it's your last quarter here, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel doing your last quarter of UW online?
It's kind of sad, honestly. I think the saddest part is that because we're graduating, we're not going to see a lot of people that we were friends with, that we grew up with, that we went to college with, right? It's sad to realize that some of the people that I said bye to, or like the last time I saw them, I didn't even know it was the last time I saw them. Because I was talking about it with some of my other friends, and we're talking about how the next time we might see some of our friends might be like at their wedding or something.
Oh, yeah. If you think about it like that, that is pretty sad.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to think, like, everything, like, is just ending online.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like an end. It feels more like a pause, but I guess for seniors, it's more like an end, like an abrupt end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't get a commencement either.
Yeah, I think I don't really mind too much, to be honest. But I would like some like closure because I want to like feel like I'm done with this chapter in life, But without graduation, it feels like it's kind of like always there in the back of my mind for some reason.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So what brought you to AACF, and how long have you been a part of AACF here?
I think it's pretty funny because most people find out ACF through like the first event, like the RSO fair, or like they have like a mutual friend who already goes there for a while. I think for me it was like very random and spontaneous because what happened was one of my friends invited me, like he was like, hey, you want to check out this fellowship with me? And I said, sure. And I assumed that he was already a member of it, for like an established member. But it turns out it was his first time visiting too. So on like the walk there, he was like, oh, this is my first time coming to him. Like, wait, what? So it was like in the middle of my sophomore year too. So it's been about like 2.5 years since I first joined.
That's a crazy story.
Yeah. A lot of people get like kind of surprised like how they found out. Because he found out in a very random way too. Because he literally just Googled like UW Christian Fellowships. And it was like the second result that popped up on Google.
Nice. So had you been looking for Christian fellowships before too?
I don't think it was too much of my interest because going to college, so I grew up Christian, but going into college, I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue to follow that path because at that time I was like very doubtful. My faith was like extremely weak, but and I guess freshman year, I didn't even decide. It just gradually ended up. I went to church less. I was less connecting to my Christian community. But I think in the middle of my sophomore year, like beginning-ish, I started to realize like there's a serious like void in my life. Like I was definitely missing something. And there was like a push toward going back to growing my faith, having more trust in God, and having a community out there to back me up as well. And I think since then is like how I define like me being almost born again, like realizing like this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. I think it's like that for a lot of people too, because up till when they're like 18 or like late teens, like you don't really choose to be Christian. You're kind of like born into a Christian family, or like your parents choose for you. So I think up until then and like after then is when you like actually decide for yourself as an adult, like whether or not you want to continue pursuing this. I think that's what makes it more valuable too.
Yeah, definitely. We all have that like knowledge that, or that thought, I guess, that college kind of makes or breaks your faith.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's like a statistic saying like 50% of like people, like people who grow up Christian, stop being Christian after they turn 18.
Yeah, I heard something similar to that from my youth pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're freshman small group leader.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
How has that experience been for you?
I think it's been a very fulfilling experience. It's like definitely different being on the leading side versus like being in the member side. Being in a small group as a member is like, it's a different mindset almost versus being a leader, because you have to constantly think about pushing the conversation, asking questions, and like getting your group's members to open up and also like bond as well together. And I think it's like you have to have like a more of a big picture view rather than just yourself. Because when you're a member in a small group, you just think about yourself growing, and you can think about others and support them as well. But I think for leaders, there's definitely an emphasis on group as a whole, like holistic view and like togetherness rather than just like individuals. But I'm not saying an individual isn't as important, but I think as a leader, it's definitely much more of a priority.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that's something that, I mean, I kind of grew up serving in the church, so I definitely feel like that's something that I felt a lot of, oh, what does it look like to be a leader versus a member of different things. But how has leading helped you grow as well, beyond just changing the mindset of how you enter small group?
I think it gives me a lot of motivation to reach out to actually bond with people as well. Because normally I'm the kind of the person that doesn't really talk to someone unless if someone talks to me first. But I think leading a small group definitely helped me open up as a person, become more like social, more outgoing, and like more willing to reach out and bring people in as well. And being the one that talks to people rather than the other way around. Yeah, and I think it also helped me like value like, and like you also get to watch like people beneath you, like the sophomores and freshmen, grow as well, which is also really amazing to watch.
Yeah, it's definitely very, very fulfilling.
Yeah.
So, I heard the story that apparently you pretended to be a ghost and pranked people late night freshman year until you got caught by an RA. Would you like to elaborate more on the story?
That was a very quick turn of events.
Yeah, small group leader to being a ghost. Anyway, so yeah, in freshman year, before I became a small group leader, I was actually a ghost, or at least I pretended to be a ghost. So I wasn't actually caught by an RA. So I had a lot of friends on my floor in Lander Hall where I lived, on the 6th floor. And one of my friends lived right next to one of the study rooms. And I would often stay in the study rooms late at night doing Alex and WebAssign. And then right before I left, I would like knock on the side of the wall in the study room where they were sleeping. And I did that like pretty much at least a few times a week. And they were actually getting pretty spooked by it, but I kept doing it until eventually I was caught by them. The RA didn't know at all, but it was pretty funny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was pretty wild freshman year. I did a lot of dumb stuff, but yeah, that was pre small group leader, pre AACF.
Wow. So this is our freshman men's small group leader. Previously a ghost, now is a leader of God. Wow. Amen. Nice.
Thank you.
So you mentioned you did other dumb stuff. Do you mind like sharing some of those dumb stuff on here?
Yeah,
This is
sure.
other dumb stuff, Phillip.
Yeah.
So you know that area? You know how like between every dorm there's like a little area, like a little I don't know what to call it, but like between like Lander and Maple, for example, there's like the little courtyard. So I think there was like a fair event going on one of the days, and then one of my friends started like chasing me or something, or I was chasing him one of the ways. But while we were running on the courtyard, one of us broke the tiles on the ground, and it like broke through. And it turns out like underneath the sidewalk is like nothing. So we broke the sidewalk, and there was just like a black void underneath. I think I also remember like stepping into the void too. I was like, oh my god, and I like almost fell in. dipped in, and then we had to like go to like HFS court to like prove that it was on them rather than on us for breaking the sidewalk, because it was them for having a weak, like not structurally sound courtyard rather than us breaking through it. And then but they were understanding and they let us go, which was nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of baffling.
So I broke a sidewalk. I was a ghost.
Is there anything else we should know?
Let me think.
Yeah, is there any other crazy things besides breaking a sidewalk?
Oh, one time so in the freshman dorms, right, there's only a bathroom in a dorm, right, like the actual bedroom. And I was eating cup ramen, and usually my roommate and I just dumped whatever was left in the cup ramen into the toilet because we didn't really want to mess up our sink. And we didn't want to clog up sink. But so I accidentally left the chopstick into the toilet as well. I dumped it in there.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And then I figured that since the chopstick's so long, it can't fit into the toilet hole, right? So I just flushed it, and I was like, I'll take care of it after. But then the chopstick went into the hole, and it went down the toilet. I was like, oh, well. But luckily, it was a wooden pair, so I thought it would be like biodegradable. It'll like break through. But that was very false, because it was clogged up. It was not pretty. The toilet was broken for like 2 weeks. We couldn't poop in our room. It was awful.
Oh no.
This was all freshman year?
Yeah.
This was a very eventful freshman year.
I know.
Broke a toilet.
Wow.
Was a ghost. Broke the sidewalk.
Dang.
Dang, you just
I was
break
just really
things,
dumb. I was just really
Phil?
dumb.
You just break a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we also heard that you're really, really good at Mario Kart?
Oh yeah. I don't think I'm that good. I think people just haven't played as much, because most people are just like playing for fun. I think it's because I played a lot of Mario Kart Wii when I was a kid, so I think the skills like translated.
Okay. Humble brag, I see.
Yeah, it's not a humble brag. I'm flexing hard.
Okay,
I
Phil.
see.
All right. If you say so, man. What's your favorite Mario Kart?
My favorite one? That's hard. I think Wii, just because it's like pretty nostalgic, because that's what I played the most as a kid. But I really like Mario Kart 8 and Double Dash as well, because I think they're both very unique in terms of they bring a lot to the game. Like Mario Kart 8 had the zero gravity, and like the water and air mechanics, which was from Mario Kart 7, but it was also like refined in Mario Kart 8. And I like Double Dash because you could race as 2 people, which I think is cool.
Yeah, see, this is a conversation that I cannot contribute to.
Don't worry, I can. my favorite is Mario Kart DS.
Oh,
I
that
used
one's
to play
good
that
too.
so much.
That one's good.
Yeah, for yours it was Wii. Mine was the DS. Like I think I only played that for like a good like maybe year or something like that.
Dang,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
insane.
Yeah, I got really
Impressive.
good at it. But like I'm so bad at Mario Kart now. It's really bad.
Yeah, I haven't played in a while, so I'm probably pretty rusty right now.
For sure. Do you have any other like childhood games or just like go-to games?
Yeah, I played a lot of video games like growing up. I remember my parents were like really against it, but I still played it a lot. I think some like the most like nostalgic games are probably like just like Mario, Zelda. Mario especially just like really nostalgic for me. Like whenever I even like hear the music, like it just makes me like puts a smile on my face. I really like listening to the soundtrack. Yeah, like when I study, I listen to a lot of like Nintendo soundtracks to help me like focus and like get into groove.
Are there any games that you play now?
Animal Crossing, obviously. Yeah.
I see.
I mean, I think
course,
Animal Crossing
of
is like
course.
the perfect game to come out right now, because like everyone's in quarantine, they can't go outside. But I think Animal Crossing is a good like escape to feel like you're going outside, feel like you're talking to people. I think it's like the perfect game at the perfect time.
Yeah, no, definitely for sure. I mean, I have not played Animal Crossing
Dang,
at all.
you're missing out.
Because
You're
like
missing out.
No, I have not played either.
You guys are both missing out.
I mean, as much as I would love to, I can't because there's only one Switch in the house. And my
Oh.
sister plays Animal Crossing, and she's the only one who's playing Animal Crossing.
Oh, I see. I
Like
see.
she plays it like almost every day, so it's just like I can't do anything. I'm just,
Yeah, right.
I'm just here on my computer, just sad.
Wait, is she an older sister or younger sister?
Older.
Oh, okay.
Dang. Imagine having a Switch
That's true. Like, no one has Switches anymore. It's so expensive. It's like out of stock everywhere.
Yeah, they like don't exist anywhere.
Oh
They
yeah,
basically just-
it's just fiction.
Yeah, it's insane. Like on Twitter, so I follow a bunch of like hype beast, like kind of like Twitter accounts, and normally they like post about like, oh, a shoe is dropping, right? So one of the accounts like posted about like a Nintendo Switch dropping, and like I checked it like maybe like 10 to 15 minutes later, it was all sold out. I was like,
Dang.
what? That's insane.
Yeah, that
right?
is.
Dude, like Nintendo Switch is like the go-to.
Is there anything that you've been doing during this quarantine to keep yourself busy besides Animal Crossing, Philip?
Not much. I think it's pretty. I've been walking outside too. I think it's really important to like, because we're allowed to go outside, like go for walks. So I think that's really helpful. Just even like 10 or 20 minutes a day, just to get some fresh air, get your blood flowing. Because just sitting in your house definitely isn't good physically or mentally.
So, speaking of going outside, you really like the outdoors.
I don't think I love the outdoors, to be honest. I think I'm neutral on it. I think I definitely like
You're
I like the
neutral on
indoors
it?
way more. I'm definitely more of an indoor kid. But what I do like about the outdoors is that it's like you can go to many different places. So I really had like I hiked with my friends for like a while, almost every week during the summer. I haven't recently, just because we've all been very busy with our own lives. But like I think freshman and sophomore year, like summer of those school years, I went hiking every week. And I think what's great about hiking is that it's like a new place to go every single week. So it's like something new you can do with your friends, which is very fun and memorable. I think another thing about hiking is that it's like it takes away all distractions from you because there's no cell signal. You can't really be on your phone. All you can do is like walk up, and because of that, like it's a really good time, really good opportunity for you to bond with your friend and just talk with them and like see what's going on in their lives, just catch up with them basically. So that's what I really like about hiking. But I think in general, outdoors is just kind of you know. There are pros and cons. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of cons now, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Do you have any recommended hiking spots?
Ooh, I mean, there's some like basic ones too, like Lake 22. I think Bridal Veil Falls is also really nice because there's like a fall right in the beginning of the hike, and then at the top there's like a big lake, which is also really nice. Most hikes have like a lake at the top for some reason, but they're always really each one's a little different, and but it's really fun to go and just like explore, take pictures, and just like chill at the top and rest.
Yeah, I'm kind of that kid that doesn't ever go outside. These are all conversations that I can't contribute anything to.
I mean, yeah, no, hiking is fun. Like, definitely for sure. I feel the same as you. Like, just hiking with friends is just like, I don't know, it's just a great experience. Especially since, like, I don't know, like, what else can you do really in Seattle, to be honest?
Yeah, that's true. That's
Like-
true.
True.
Like, there's only so much you can do in Seattle. But I think hiking is always just, like, a great experience. Also, just great for, like, cardio and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. What is the
No,
hardest,
you can,
like... Oh, sorry,
You can-
continue.
Oh yeah, you can do like everything like all the tourists do in Seattle in like 1 day, 1 or 2 days. There's like nothing to do.
Yeah. What is, like, the hardest trail you've ever done?
I don't know. Nothing really hard. I remember like one hiking trail. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but like while going down, I had to go to the bathroom really badly. You know, like really badly. Like it like hurt
No.
almost. Okay. And then eventually
gosh.
I couldn't hold it in, so I had to go into the woods and do my business. But I think that was the hardest in terms of like just like the condition I was in.
Wow.
That was not where I
That-
was expecting that to go.
No, yeah.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, no.
I don't know if we can include
it
that,
really is
but,
a struggle.
but it's just something that.
Nah,
I'm just answering your question.
We'll include it. Don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about it. It'll be right there. You can listen for it. So you mentioned you like to go hiking with your friends. Is that something that you started doing as you entered college, or was that something that you also liked to do in high school?
I think I did it more like leaving high school. It was like because like the last summer we got to be with our friends. I guess we just decided to go hiking, not like official or anything. It just happened, and then eventually we just kind of did that for like 1 or 2 more years. Recently we haven't done it just because we've all been so busy. But that's just how it happened, I guess. I don't know. Just something that happened.
Yeah, so hiking, video games, those are like one of your many hobbies. But like, do you have any other things you like to do?
I like to sleep a lot, but also it's kind of hard to sleep, you know? Some nights you want to sleep, but you can't. It's kind of crazy. Why are you smiling? I'm being serious. I'm being serious.
Sorry.
Sleeping
No,
is...
I'm just listening. I'm just listening.
Let me go.
Don't worry
Let
about
me
it.
keep
Don't worry
talking.
about it.
Okay, sleeping is honestly kind of a talent, because you know how there's some people who can like go onto an airplane and knock out in like 2 minutes. Those people have a gift, okay, and I want that gift, because for me it takes a really long time to fall asleep. Like some people, there's one guy I know who is like insomniac and he actually can't sleep, and he told me that he literally just lays in bed and waits for the sun to come up and then just gets out without even sleeping. I'm like, dang, that's awful.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's really intense.
Yeah. So those people who can fall asleep so easily, they have a gift, you know, and they need to share their secret.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Just take a bunch of melanin. There you go.
I don't think that's the way to
Or
go.
is it?
That's the solution.
I don't think that's the
Just
solution.
drugs.
There you go. But yeah, no, I feel that. Sometimes it's really hard to fall asleep, especially when you're like trying to wake up at a certain time. I feel like that makes it even harder because you have to wake up at like 8 a.m., but it's like, I don't know, like 3 a.m. or something like that. You can't fall asleep.
No. The worst part is waking up before your alarm even goes off, and you wake up like 30 minutes before the alarm goes off. So then you can't go back to sleep either. That's like the worst one.
That's so annoying.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
Nah.
No more hobbies.
No?
That's it.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
even is a hobby, you know? Some people are like, I listen to music, I play video games, and I watch TV. And I'm like, oh. And then some people are like, oh, I'm training to be an athlete. I'm like doing like cardio 8 times a day. I volunteer at this elderly hospital. And I'm like, okay, like what does it even mean to be a hobby, you know? It's like a wide spectrum.
Yeah, I think a hobby is more just like what you do in your free time, something you enjoy that you do in your free time. So yeah, like I guess watching TV and like watching movies can be a hobby. So yeah, it's basically like things you like to do in your free time.
I mean, if you put it that way, I suppose sleep is also a hobby.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. Whether or not it's healthy or not, that's a different question. But yeah.
I guess on the topic of free time, what kind of things do you do over the summer when there is no school, Phillip?
I don't know. I try to reconnect with my friends because there are a lot of my friends that go. It's really interesting. So all my friends who were in state, like from high school, they went out of state. But there are a lot of my friends in college that are out of state. So during the school year, I get to hang out with my out of state friends. But then during the summer, I get to hang out with my in-state friends because they come back home because I can't see them during the school year. So I guess like I get to catch up with a lot of people I was friends with in high school and elementary, and just catch up in general with what's going on in their life and learning from them as well.
I think it's really nice to have that balance between being able to meet different friends at different times.
Yeah. And I think it's really, I consider myself really fortunate to like know people from like so many different places, because I have like friends from like New Jersey, the East Coast, like California, Texas. And I think it's really cool because I think it gives me more opportunities to like travel and like visit them and see what it's like to live in their, like where they live, and how their lives like differ from mine in terms of like location or like even culture, like, because even though it's like within the U.S., like culturally each area is can be pretty different.
Yeah, for sure. Do you do traveling a lot then?
Not lately, but I do enjoy it. I think everyone does. I feel like everyone enjoys traveling.
What kind of places have you traveled around to?
I think I've been traveling a lot more starting at college. I think at first I went to New York with one of my friends because he's from New Jersey, so I was able to stay at his house, fortunately, which saved a lot on costs. I also went to Hawaii the next spring break because I have 2 friends from Hawaii as well. So that was also really fun as well. Really good food in Hawaii. I also went to LA. Last summer I went to Korea, and it was the first time I went to Korea in like 20 years or something. Basically, I technically been when I was 1, but I don't remember at all because I was 1. But yeah, so basically this is like my first memorable time I went, and it was a lot of fun. It was very hot because I went into summer. It was also really cool just meeting my family for basically the first time, because I got to meet my uncle, my cousins, my grandparents. It was kind of weird and awkward at first, but I'm really glad I got to meet them. They're great people, and I definitely want to see them again soon.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I always love going to Korea. There's so much good food.
Oh yeah, for sure. So much cheaper too.
Yeah, there's so much stuff to do, and just I think for me, I always enjoy going and seeing my extended family and getting to talk to them. Yeah, because I think it's always just nice to reconnect with people, and I think there's always that kind of connection, even though it's kind of awkward. You're like, but they're still family.
Yeah. I think like us as Asian Americans, like we're in a unique position where we are like able to live in America, but we also have like family and connections back in Asia as well, which is really interesting. Because even though we're in a community full of Asian Americans, like just globally in like the big picture of things, like we're in a very unique position that not many people are able to experience.
Yeah, no, for sure. Speaking of Asian American, do you speak like Korean at all?
I'm like, I don't know. I can kind of talk like basic conversation. Like I can get by, but I'm not very good at reading or writing.
So, how is the language barrier when you went to Korea? Since you only know like kind of basic like language or basic conversational.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't that bad. I could definitely communicate with my family. I think it was almost more of like a nervous thing rather than like actually like lingual. I think if I was a little more confident and comfortable, I would definitely be able to more express myself. I think it also helped because I could use a little bit of English to mix it in here and there. Yeah, I remember one of my uncles asked like what I think about the current U.S. like politics, like presidents and like potential candidates for 2020, and I'm like, I don't know how to talk about that. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah, Korean people are very interested in American politics, and it's really funny.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wouldn't know because I'm not Korean.
Oh.
Whoa.
But hey, can you guys have a conversation in Korean right now?
No.
Why not?
I can't expose myself.
Phillip is refusing. That's okay.
Yeah, I gotta refuse.
So I guess like going to Korea and like meeting your extended family for the first time in a while, was there anything that you like felt like you learned from that experience?
I think meeting my family, it feels like I actually have family in Korea. Because before, like, I just knew in the back of my mind, I have family in Korea. But actually meeting them, interacting with them, getting to know them, now I know it's somewhere I can actually go back, visit them. It's somewhere I can have like a support system, ask them for advice. I can talk to them. So it feels like more like they're real people in a sense. I know that's kind of weird to say, because they're always real. But like actually talking with them and like, yeah, it definitely feels like I actually do have family in Korea. It helped me realize. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Sorry
no,
if it
that
doesn't.
makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So are you planning on going back this summer?
Probably not this summer because it's kind of crazy. I don't think anyone should go anywhere this summer, but hopefully soon. Yeah, that'd be great. You know, I definitely want to go again as soon as possible.
Yeah. Speaking of the future, do you have any like plans for after college?
You know, after watching that movie Parasite and that one line where he's like, the best plan is like no plan, I think I'm definitely had to follow that ever since the Corona stuff. Just because like right now it's so unpredictable, you know, like the economy is in like a trash can right now. Internships are getting rejected. People can't get their job offers. It's kind of crazy right now. So maybe just be best to like take things one day at a time for now and then see just and then just wait until the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, but I'm not too sure. I don't have any solid plans right now.
Okay, so as we kind of wrap up a little bit, is there anything, this is kind of our generic question, is there anything you like to advise the underclassmen about?
That's always a good question to ask though, but I don't want to give anything like something that people have heard of a lot, like study hard or like be honest, make friends, say yes. But let me think. I think one piece of advice is like, you should really take a step back and like really ask yourself like, what does it mean to be productive, quote unquote. And what I mean by that is, so right now a lot of people can like define productive as like doing homework, applying for jobs, internships, studying for tests, basically doing anything related to like school or work, right? Anything that's not that isn't considered productive. I think you should really ask yourself, because oftentimes things that aren't perceived as productive are even more productive than what is perceived as productive. For example, like hanging out with your friends late at night, getting dinner, having one-on-ones are also like just as productive, if not more, in terms of like building relationships, creating memories, and having more experiences in your life that are you can look back onto fondly from college. Because like the thing is, like when you look back onto college, you're not going to remember the times when you like studied for a test, did a homework, or got a 4.0 or anything like that. You're going to remember the time that you spent with people and your friends. And I think it's important now to create as many memories and stories as you can now that you have the opportunity and chances.
I think those are definitely things to
definitely some
consider.
wise words.
Yeah, so thank you, Phil, for joining us in our podcast. I know
Thank you.
Can be
sorry
very awkward.
some of my stories scared people or for not appropriate, but yeah, thanks for having me.
No, you're good, Phil.
Yeah, I know, like, it's sometimes really awkward to talk over Zoom and
Oh yeah.
have this kind of setting. So thank you for joining us. I know we were kind of all over the place. It was chaotic, but I think it made for a really fun time for all of
Chaotic's
us.
good. Chaotic's good.
Yeah. Hey, it just represents the state that we're in right now, you know?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
It's our theme.
Just chaotic.
Yeah, it was all planned,
But hey,
right?
it was-
Intentional.
Yeah. But hey, it was nice having you on, Phil. I think that is it for our time, right, Yuan?
Yeah, so next week we're going to be talking to another one of our seniors. We're continuing on through our list. But yeah, it was really great to have you. Thank you very much, Phil.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, tune in next week.